you. Hello, Facebook world. Sorry, you guys just clicked on our church channel, and other streams are broadcasting at different times. So forgive me for that. We just listened to a song called "Without You" by a band called King and Country. It's a Christian group, and the song was written by one of the brothers of the band who was going through a major life crisis. And it's interesting because, as everyone knows, last year we had a lot of health issues, and I've got a battle. I mean, when I met my wife, I said, I hope you know I'm probably going to be in and out of hospitals till the day I go. It's that kind of a life. And so she knew that. But sometimes the reality is like, wow, this ain't no joke. And so we had 3 heart surgeries last year, and everything seemed to be great in some respects. And then all of a sudden, we got a phone call from my neurologist who informed us of some things that happened. And we've allowed our closest inner circle of people to know what happened, or what's unfolding, I should say. But what they shared with us was that my brain's that of about a 90-year-old, and it's called white matter on the brain. And people that get up in their 80s and 90s, we forget things a lot more. And that's we develop these things called white matter lesions. And they're all over my brain. And it shouldn't be like that unless you're in your 90s. So at first I kind of chuckled, and I'm like, woohoo, I got an excuse. Why I forget? The stroke wasn't enough. And it was very difficult to process that. And we don't know anything in the respect of how fast it's going to progress. Is my brain going to stay at 90 for the next 90 years? And then maybe this is what I get for the next, and I'm okay. That's awesome. What they have to do is do tests every 6 months on the brain, and then they can monitor it. So we're literally looking at years of progress, but they've started a regimen of medications and stuff, and there's a bunch of other things that are going to be happening. So we wanted to wait until after the new year to discuss that. In between the last heart surgery and now, a lot of things have developed with my heart. And those that are close to me know I sleep about 15 hours a day. And if you know me, you know that's not me. I'm a guy that, it drove my wife nuts. What did I used to always say? I just need 5 hours. So I didn't want to, when I was dating her, I didn't want to shut up. I was like a little, I could say a little sweetheart, but a horn dog. I was a dog in heat, right? Loved my girlfriend, just wanted to spend every waking minute with her. And it's midnight. She's like, you've got to hang up the phone. You've got to go to work in 4 hours. I don't need 4 or 5 hours. It's all I need. And it's true. But now it's about 15 hours a day. And I spend the last 2 to 3 hours. And it's not that I physically can't. My wife and me went to a store that we shop at quite often. And it's 2 stairs, two staircases. So I guess that'd be 2 floors of stairs. And I couldn't even walk up to the first one without stopping. And actually, out of breath, I feel like I just summited a mountain. And I'm just walking up 1 flight of stairs. So things are happening inside, and we don't know any reason why that is. There's a million ifs and ands and buts, and we're not going to speculate. We have doctor's appointments tomorrow and a whole slew of doctor's appointments and tests to come. And that's just life. And so it's interesting. We were discussing, we wanted to tell people, because one of the issues is I've noticed is I'm forgetting things a lot more than I used to, a lot more. And I noticed that that's what made this whole thing happen, as I was actually saying, well, I've got issues. I know I had 2 strokes. I know that things are severed in the brain. I got that. But how am I losing? Like, I'm losing more, and my short term's getting even worse. How's this happening? And that's when they started doing some studies, and then they found it. So what do you do? It's like the song. And if you haven't heard the song and you're watching, I want you to go and Google it on Google tonight, and it's called For King and Country is the name of the band, and it's Without You. And right before I got married to Cece, Mrs. Brown, I was at our resort where I almost lost consciousness. I shouldn't say almost. I actually passed out, but it was just for a second or two and then regained it. And her phone number was on the phone, which was right next to me, which I'm not sure how that happened miraculously. And I hit the button and I said some words, and she had our son, Andrew, come, and he saved my life. And he used some medications to help get my heart back up. They had overdoped my heart with heart meds because of how bad it was. And I said, I'm not ready to go, Andrew. I'm not ready. I'm not scared of death, in case you're wondering, by the way. I have no fear. I've died 3 times. I know what's coming. I know what's going to happen. I got it because I've been there. I don't need a book.
Amen.
I don't need a theology professor to tell me. I don't need the Southern Baptist way. I don't need, the Pentecostal way. I know what is going to be there. Okay. So why was I saying, I'm not ready? I'm not ready. And this song, it hit me because this is a lot of pressure sitting on me. And my poor wife has been suffering at the hands of almost a dictator husband who's been a complete force to be reckoned with. And if you know me, I am a force to be reckoned with. But in my head, I have a few years that in my mind, I'm like, okay, God, I just need a couple years to set this up so that my wife has her home, so that she's got her retirement covered. The basics are there, the car's paid for, and I've left her a good company and things like that. This is how I was thinking. But the truth was, my heart was focused on trying to show love to her, that the person I love the most and the person that I want to be around the most is my wife and my children and my grandchildren. And I know right now that some of them are watching live. And the times that I spent with them and my knuckleheads, we're all knuckleheads. If you know me, you know the story, what a knucklehead is. To spend time with my knuckleheads and to walk with them and to laugh and to hear Jesse go, wait, what? And then to watch him walk out and have purple hair one day and blue the next and then be normal. That's when I called the psychiatrist, by the way, when he stopped dyeing the hair. I live for life. But I don't have any life right now in me. I leave next Tuesday night or Wednesday to go on an expedition that could take anywhere from, for sure, 2 days, but possibly 4 days with me and just one other guy. And we're going to be carrying 150 pounds apiece on a sled, 75 and 75 on the back. I don't even know if I can do it. I might start out and it might all come to a stop. And I have people that say to Cece, why do you let him go climb mountains? It's because she loves me. And she doesn't want me to die in a hospital room, which is where the hospital people want me to be. And she'd rather me be out there. And I'd rather be spending it with her. My first place of choice, if I was to be able to predict, God, let me die this way, would be spending it with my wife by ourselves. No video cameras allowed.
I'm coming.
Yes. Yeah, you're live, by the way.
I love you.
But if that's not possible, she knows I cherish the mountains, and she'd rather have me die alone on the top of that mountain instead of in a hospital.
That's right.
What most people don't realize is my way to overcome a lot of my physical things have been from pushing myself. So I was thinking of how we were going to do this, and God just changed everything at the last second. And I normally do 15. Tonight, I'm asking for 20 minutes of your time, just 5 extra tonight. But in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, you can read the whole chapter. It's about a man named Jeremiah and his call to become a prophet, okay? And it's interesting that this is in chapter, I'm only going to get into this one section in verse 5. It says, this is God speaking. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. And I appointed you as a prophet to nations. This is before you even were born. And this isn't to Jeremiah, by the way. This is to each spirit walking this earth. All of us. God is saying, and it came to me at 6 a.m. when my wife and me had been just fighting with each other. I know you're like, what? No way. You don't fight, Rev. Here's the thing. We wouldn't be fighting truthfully if she just realized I'm always right. God's giving me everything to tell me the truth, right, honey?
No.
Sure, of course. Yes.
No. No,
We're
Dad.
fighting. We're clawing. We're trying. We've got people that depend on us. We've got agencies. We've got housing and employment people and disabled people and the stress and how do I have this and the board members and all of these things. And it's a big pressure cooker. And all of this is happening at the same time. And the person I love the most. And it's back and forth. We're just back and forth. And at 6 a.m, my bride held my hand after we had a long night. And she said, "Could we talk?" And she shared with me some things about her childhood that I've never heard. I've never known. Because 3 years we've been together. We're learning. She's 55. I've married a cougar.
I'm
She-
56.
56,
Right.
sorry. Yes, 56. She wants her
Oh,
Denny's
Lord.
discount. It pays, by the way, young man, to get an older woman. I get a good discount at Denny's, by the way. I never took time, and she never took time. Neither one of us took time. And we learned through our mentor, who helps mentor us through our marriage, how to do that. And here's what I heard, is this scripture was what my mother used to read to me as a little boy. I remember this, and she would tell me over and over. Now, I thought it was only for me. I thought I was this one little special kid. I was like, oh my God, did you know that God? He said, hey, I formed you in your mama. I set you apart. You have a calling, Jonathan Brown. I was like, whoa, the creator of everything's put me in a special spot and called me to do something? What is it? What is my calling? And as a young boy, he told me, love all people, black, white, short, fat, Pentecostals, even the Christians, all of them. Love everybody. There's a few pastors I have a hard time doing that with. But other than that, I love them all. But during that moment in that, I heard my wife's voice, and I heard her say that God said this. He said, I formed you in your womb. And what your mother claimed was a mistake, I created you. And you're destined for greatness. And it hit me. Wait a second. This is for every single one of you. And here's the facts. We don't know what the future holds for me. For the first time in my 47 years, I honestly don't think I can wholeheartedly say to you like I used to. I'm going to live to be 125. What are you kidding me? Do you know who I am? I'm Jonathan Brown. And that little boy, the unshakable guy, is completely scared and shaken. And that's when God said, that's how all the people in the world are. And you and the message and CC and you guys are going to do this with all of them. And it's a lot of pain. And I'm going to say some things I know a few of you are watching that are really conservative, but there's a lot of shit in your life and mine and hers and ours and my church and my college of bishops and all of the stuff in our companies and your parents and your baggage from your childhood and your past divorce and the crime you committed and the crime they said you committed and the violence you put on somebody and the money you ripped someone off and the girl you smacked in high school, all that crap. It's baggage, but it's part of you. I get through the crap. I get through the pain by knowing something. I was chosen. I'm special. Jonathan Edward David Brown was born on September 18th, 1975, and damn it, I'm special. And so are you, Miss Patty. You are priceless. You are priceless. You crack people up that are around you. You bring joy to people. A little harder, if you would, when you smack Jesse in the back of the head might help, but you are uplifting. You've enrolled to start to become a pastor with the church, to grow a church down in the south side of Everett. You're an amazing person. And you know something? I know part of your past. I'm not going to throw it out all over the TV thing. I know all the pain, but guess what? That pain is who you are. And without it, you aren't you. So be grateful for all of the pain we've suffered. It's made us.
This is the best teacher.
I don't want to go through it again. But guess what? By owning my life and admitting I'm great at a lot of stuff, but there's some things I'm not so good at. And so instead of me waking up, what you guys say when you say, hey, Rev, how you doing today? What do I say? Fantastic. It's because I'm speaking those things that aren't as though they were. It's because it's the only way I know how to live. And it's kept me alive this time. Without this, I'd have been dead a long time ago. My body would have thrown in the towel. I promise you, I know that I know that I know in my soul that that's why I'm alive. But it's about overcoming obstacles. And it said here at the end, I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. A prophet means you speak. It doesn't mean you say, I know that you're going to go down the road next Tuesday and hit a car. That is a prophecy. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about saying, I see you and you're special and you're going to be an influencer on people around you. You're a good man. It's prophesying. You're going to have a company someday, young man. You are going to do it. You are going to build a company that can help change people's lives. It's prophesying those things that aren't. It's not a religion. It's not a denomination. It's not an argument. Speak kindly. My wife always says, I'm sorry that in trying to prepare myself and get things put together so I could hand my wife this beautiful bundle of what I thought is what she needs. Because men, we have this thought. And the woman's saying this thought. And I'm going to leave with the joke about how to explain this real simple. I talk about mentors. We have a mentor, our actual marriage mentor. And we had our hour meeting with her. And she asked how things were going. And I don't know, I said something. And then my wife goes, well, I'll tell you what. Tonight, we were sitting here getting ready, setting up the laptop. And I was telling my husband, thank you. Thank you for considering me. Like that other company, I don't have anything to do with that. That's your thing. You go do that. But you actually called to consider me. And she said, that was the hottest thing I've ever seen. I wanted to jump your bones. I said, Lord have mercy. I said to the therapist, I said, wait a second. That was sexy? And she's like, oh, baby, if you talk about being responsible and calling me and considering my emotions and my feelings, Lord have mercy. And I'm like, hey, fellas, y'all been doing it all wrong, okay? If you want to get the gal, you got to just tap into that emotional side and figure out what she really wants, which is just a laughter of what I'm trying to explain. We're going through a lot. We got a lot of changes coming. I have a lot of great people helping us. Our church is growing, our nonprofit's growing, our Jonathan's Refuge is growing. We've got more people needing our help. We need your help that's out there. We need the volunteers. We need our members. We love you guys. Keep our family in your prayers. You are our family. Jonathan's Refuge is our family. This isn't a place that we come and visit. This is our home. I actually live here. We love these people because they're our family. These people are me. I'm these people. I'm knucklehead number one right here.
That's right.
So I love you guys. Keep us in your prayers. Reach out. We'll keep you updated. It's a long haul, but know this. Whatever crap you're going through, whatever drama is in your life, it's just an opportunity. It's an opportunity to inspire other people by showing them how to do it. And there is a way. And we hope that we can help shine some light on your path to show you that. God bless everyone.
Lisa was watching.